Now that Pressure is back in the spotlight, I think now is a better time than ever to say this, but I believe that Doors and Pressure should do a collaboration event. Now, I know in other videos of mine I've painted Pressure as sort of a bad guy type of figure, but in all seriousness, I think the game is incredible. It has a lot of unique elements which sets it apart from Doors, and makes it truly an interesting experience. And seeing how both games share a somewhat similar player base, I think it's natural that a collaboration event between the two should be possible. Now, one of the main concerns, especially for Doors, about collaborating with other games is that it can somewhat break immersion, which is a completely understandable worry. However, with the use of information from previous collaboration events, I think I can see various different ways these two games should join forces in an event without any unneeded collateral damage. So, in this video, I'll be discussing the possibility of a Doors and Pressure collaboration event, as well as how it theoretically could be implemented to benefit both games to be the best level it can be. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so the first thing I want to go over is the question of, is it even possible for Doors and Pressure to do a collaboration event at all? Given Pressure's history with game collaborations, I'd say that if this event was a possibility, they'd jump at the idea. In fact, tons of Doors-themed Easter eggs are already in Pressure, ranging from decorations to even full-blown room types. In this sense, I'd see the major hurdle of doing a Doors and Pressure collab coming from Doors' end rather than on Pressure's. Now, when it comes to collaboration events, there are two main concerns with Doors. Those being that 1, it could potentially break the game's immersion, and 2, the game may not be worth the publicity. As the developers themselves said in a message I cannot for the life of me find, but I know for certain it exists, any Doors collaboration is essentially just one big advertisement for the game Doors is collabing with. So they want their collaboration partner to actually be worth receiving the attention. Fortunately though, both of these concerns can be addressed with a Pressure collaboration. In the case of immersion, we can't have anything directly from Pressure inside of Doors. What I mean is, although Pressure can directly add features from other games into their actual gameplay, and they have done that, such as the Easter egg room types which completely mimics the Doors hotel, Doors cannot do the same, as they want to keep the game's story and immersion as closely knit as possible. This means that adding Pressure characters and rooms into Doors is a big no-no. But even with this restriction, there are plenty of other ways a collaboration between the two could work. As for the concern of publicity, I think it's pretty safe to say that almost all of the Doors player base is aware of the existence of Pressure and have at least attempted to play it, and vice versa. Pressure is also a pretty widely known game, being featured in multiple official Roblox events and receiving plenty of coverage on YouTube by big names. Pressure already has a ton of publicity, so in the sense of a collaboration of Doors, I doubt it would affect that too much, meaning this concern is essentially non-existent for this hypothetical collaboration event. So, with all of that being said, if Doors and Pressure were to collaborate, the only major thing we'd have to focus on is how the event would play out, as it can't break the immersion in Doors. Luckily though, we can look at previous Doors collaboration events to gather information for how this one could be executed. The largest ever collaboration event involving Doors was the Tower Heroes and Doors collaboration event. This involved Tower Heroes receiving a massive expansion update entirely themed around Doors, whereas Doors itself only got some Tower Heroes themed paintings and some new badges which can be showed off. This event was very one-sided, with it mostly taking place in the Tower Heroes game itself. And although the Doors developers did help contribute to the event, in the case of Pressure, I don't see this collaboration style working out. Both Pressure and Doors have a very similar update schedule, that being updates are few and far between. So investing all that time and resources into making Pressure entirely themed around Doors, without adding Pressure theming to Doors due to the immersion restriction, may seem unfair and not worth it, which it is. So, if both these games were ever to collaborate, I don't think it would be in either game's best interest to do something like the Tower Heroes event, where only one game majorly updates whilst the other does so minorly. Luckily though, there is one other type of collaboration Doors has done in the past, and that is with the game Please Donate. Essentially, in the Hotel Plus update, both Doors and Please Donate created a very minor collaboration event. The way it worked is that by obtaining the permanent Please Donate badge indoors, which can be obtained by completely filling Jeff's tip jar, players would receive a special Doors-themed cosmetic in the Please Donate game. Given how long it takes to update both Doors and Pressure, I think a smaller scale collab like this where both games can equally participate is a much better option than something like the Tower Heroes event. It could even work both ways, so Pressure can have a badge that grants Doors rewards, and Doors can have a badge that grants Pressure rewards. Okay, so now that we've gotten the collab layout locked in, what would it even contain? Well, I've created a few concepts for what could be done in both Doors and Pressure, which follows this layout. Now, as you probably know, Pressure is heavily underwater themed, so I think if a Doors badge referencing Pressure were to be added, it should stick to this theme, just like how the Please Donate badge involved donating to Jeff. In the mines, players can somewhat uncommonly encounter these flooded tunnel rooms, so I think there should be a badge for successfully escaping one of them, and this badge would be the one that grants rewards in Pressure. You could name this badge something very cheesy, such as Under Pressure, or something stupid like that, but as for the reward in Pressure itself, it could be a special Doors-themed suit, which is a type of cosmetic found in the game in case you are wondering. Another unique quirk of underwater rooms indoors is that they drain the life out of any lighter item in your inventory. So, instead of the Pressure badge being obtained through escaping an underwater room, it could instead be obtained by completely exhausting a lighter inside of one. Just like with the Please Donate badge, these concepts are relatively simple to implement and obtain, and they don't break immersion at all, with the only Pressure-related thing being its external rewards, as well as the badge name. But even then, almost all badge names are references to outside pieces of media, so I don't think that's too big of an issue. Now, as for the Pressure side of things, as I had already stated, the game involves several Doors-themed Easter eggs already, so I think a quick and easy way of adding a Doors-themed badge to the game is just by interacting with these Easter eggs multiple times. I also know that eventually Pressure will add secret entities that are meant to be direct recreations of Rush and Ambush from Doors. So maybe their badge could be obtained by successfully surviving these entities. It could also be for encountering that Doors room theme, which I had mentioned earlier. As for the rewards in Doors, these Pressure badges could grant. Seeing how Doors doesn't really have any cosmetics, I think that the badges could just be shown off in the Doors lobby, much like how many other Doors collaboration badges can be. Based on my research, this game doesn't seem to be as strict as Doors when it comes to collaboration events, so really anything is possible on their side. All in all, I just really like both Doors and Pressure, and seeing how both games are very similar in terms of both gameplay and player base, I think it's only natural they should do a collaboration event. Of course, I'm not trying to force the developers into doing something they don't want to, but this video primarily just served as a way of describing how a possible event between the two games could be executed. So, with all of that being said, let me know what you think of a collaboration between Doors and Pressure in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.